today we're gonna jump right into this. We're doing 5 things we like about our 2012 V8 Aston Martin. Personally, this is probably one of my favorite stylings and designs of almost any car, just because it has that classy and supercar look. Now, if you go into the history of this, you can go back to Henrik Fisker. Now, if you know what a Fisker is, we'll pop it up right here. But he also designed this car in many Aston Martins. Now, you can look at the styling of the Jaguar F-Types. They also shared that same style and look of this car right here, which I believe Aston Martin paved the way. So now we're gonna do a little bit and show you about my favorite features and my favorite style and looks of this car. I'm gonna start at the badge. When you get into a supercar or you look at a supercar, the badge, this thing has weight. The badge itself has weight. You hold that thing, you're like, dang, that's quality. I love the badge on this car. Looks good, looks stylish, and then we step away and you look at the beautiful face. This thing has the Python look. That's what we call it. Dubbed the Python look by Fueled by Foreigns. It's got that hunched over, big cheeks, the eyes, and it just looks like a snake. And when it's on the road, it's got one hell of a road presence. Love the look, love the grille. And then you come down here, we got carbon fibre, okay? This, we love ourselves some carbon fiber. It's literally flooded with it in the front. I love this diffuser so much. But yeah, carbon fiber is my thing. I like that track focused look. So, and then we come up, the eyeballs. The eyeballs were something that I was a little skeptical in the beginning. Then we got the car and I was like, I actually really like that. It really makes it fit that bubbly, like tough look. Now we come around here to the side. We got the doors. You guys could see the doors when we started. By far the best styling design you could have done with this car. And there are so many cars that I feel like should have been doing this a long time ago. But this is Aston Martin. This is their signature thing. I love the doors. The doors kind of go up at like that 45-degree angle. You get that sub like supercar door look, but it's there. It looks amazing. It's a party trick. When people see it, they're like, okay, what is that? Now this is where I say it looks exactly like the Jaguar F-Type. It has that back end slouched down look. It looks like the F-Type there, which is not a problem. Not a problem whatsoever, because I'm pretty sure they got the design from this car. So it looks amazing. It's not the most like in your face from the side, like an Aventador or a 720S, but that's not their goal here. This is your sub-level supercar look. But you can't go wrong with this thing. It's classy and stylish, and I like that. Now we walk around to the back. Again, I have to start with the simple fact that if you get this car in with the taillights that have the red, it really dates this car. They have these where they come in red, and then they have them here that you can see in clear. It makes the car look that much better. It doesn't make it look old. It doesn't date this car. Unfortunately, it just dates the car when you had that. But obviously, that's what we got here. This is the Vantage S, and that's what you get. So now the back end, love the style, love the duckbill spoiler here. This is one really cool feature that just adds to the supercar style of this thing. It's built in, it's got that look that you want from this thing. Simple feature, but cool. In the back, we're flooded with carbon fiber again. Carbon fiber, it's real. They had to go real, man. We don't do that fake stuff here at the Aston Martin squad. All right, love the carbon fiber. It literally fits across this whole thing. This is one ginormous piece of carbon fiber. So if you were to break this thing, it's a $6,000 piece of carbon fiber. Now that is factory from Aston Martin. You might be able to find other places, but at that point you're not getting that look that probably matches this car. So that's that. When we got this car, I thought this was a really cool styling design. You really didn't have to do this, but they did it. So down here there's a diffuser. As you can see, we wrapped it, but it does not connect to the body of the car. It only connects to this piece of carbon fiber. It's that free floating, and I can stick my hand way down in there and pull it back out. I think that's a really cool feature, and again, because supercar. So now on the interior, this is where things really start to show for the Aston Martin, and this is what you would expect out of an Aston Martin, that interior feel. when you get inside this car has that feel, it has that high quality feel that you would expect out of a $155,000 car. So we're gonna start here at the steering wheel. Yes, we bought this used. It is a suede or Alcantara steering wheel. I love that. That's what I want out of my sports car, okay? So now everything feels, the steering is super tight when you drive this thing. Also love that this is a track car. It feels great, steering feels amazing. Paddle shifters are aluminum. I will say the only thing cheap that I really find inside this vehicle are probably just these knobs here and these vents. Besides that, you look at this interior and it's timeless. So the knobs, everything has some weight to it. Everything has some, you know, aluminum feel to it. The knobs are aluminum. It feels really good to move everything. All the knobs here, this is just nice styling designs. Everything is a button that you can touch and is really interactive and makes you feel like you're really getting in with this thing. The only thing I guess I could say is you're a traditional sports car, not having that shifter that makes you feel like, yeah, I'm in my sports car. This is your luxury, exotic, luxury supercar, and this is what it's giving you. And this all comes down to my favorite part about this car, the key. How you start this car up. Push it in here, got your little Aston Martin, little styling design there. Take the key, push it in, and you push it in even further, and it fires to life. And then, as you can see up here, screen pops up, also like that feature, and then you can go to maps, blah, blah, blah. Really cool. They threw a little modern touch with a little bit of that traditional timeless look in here, and I really like that about this thing. So, all right, so now let's hop into the back here. Now, this is where it really starts to show that this is your sports car, supercar type look. We don't have the back seats. None of these come with back seats. Now, there are some where it looks like it comes with a back seat, but it's not. It's not usable. None of this is usable. Right here, you have a storage compartment. If you open this up, you got some stuff back there, but if the battery's back there and you have one tiny storage compartment over here, it's not really worth showing. This isn't really usable, but if you wanted to throw like your wallet or something back there, you could. Now, we walk up to this. This is the Vantage S, so it comes with the roll cage with this body style. It's the more aggressive. It wants to be track focused. So you get that, you get this exposed frame here, and it really makes you feel like you're in that supercar race car in this thing. Now we're gonna show you guys the back. This is where the usability of this car, as small as it is, really comes to light. As you can see, there's a lot of space in here. I can fit my backpack in here. It's been raining, I can throw my umbrella back here, but now, as you can see, I have a whole bunch more space, and then I can hop in this thing just like this, and even I can, you know, on a nice day, take a nap in my Aston Martin. Just push that button, I'll close it. As you can see, you can fit a body in here. But yeah, plenty of room. Now, you know, if you're gonna try to take some rims or anything to the shop, you're gonna have to put one in the front seat and you're gonna have to put one back here because the window will not allow you to put anything too excessively large like a wheel or rim or anything in here, but it's enough for your everyday use. You could probably fit your golf clubs and everything else in here too. So that's that. So now we're gonna talk about what this beast will run you MSRP. We're gonna start there, $155,000. Now this is the V8 model. You can take that step up to the V12, but that's not what we're talking about here today. This is the V8, and I will say, if you got the money, it's probably worth it. So, especially brand new. Obviously you can't buy these brand new anymore, but we bought ours used at a solid $55,000. You want to think about that for a second. $155,000 new to a $55,000 car used with only 40,000 miles on it. What a absolute bargain, and an absolutely amazing car for that price. You cannot go wrong with this thing. I love this thing, and it's pretty much bulletproof. You will have your problems here and there, just like any other car, but for $55,000, cannot go wrong, especially what you can see that you can buy for $55,000. This is what you would get right here for that price range. So if I had my 55,000, you knew what I did with it. This is what I got, and I think you should too. Now with that price, that $55,000 price tag used, think about this for a second. You could get yourself in the likes of a Hellcat. You could get a Z06. You could get a standard C7 Corvette, or you could get yourself a Maserati. What would you choose? Now, it all depends on, do you want that power like the Hellcat? Do you want that power like the Z06? Do you want the style and looks of a Maserati, or do you want the classy and just like fun factor of the Aston Martin? Now, this car does only have 430 horsepower and 361 pound-feet of torque, so you're playing with those options. Now, I will say this, for that amount of power, you do have a lot of fun. This thing is an absolute reckoning on the road. It is by no means a comfortable car. This is a true race car. This thing's meant for the track, and that's what you're buying. No matter what you get, you're gonna have fun. Z06, Hellcat, Aston Martin, Maserati. I will say the Aston Martin definitely competes because this thing just feels like an absolute roller coaster. What a fun car to drive, even though it is what you would consider underpowered for the price range. Now we are going to talk about the performance of this vehicle. This vehicle in particular, like I have already said, is the V8 Vantage S. It's holding a 4.7 liter naturally aspirated V8, taking you from 0 to 60 in 3.9 seconds. That only being because it is the Vantage S, and because it has the Sport Shift 2 transmission. It has the fastest transmission. You get Sport Shift 1, Sport Shift 2. This one is holding the Sport Shift 2 transmission. So now, that also being said, most of these transmissions that you see are placed differently in the vehicle. This one is a little bit different. They place it exactly in the back of this car. It sits directly in the back between the two back wheels. Offering for that quick torque and that, you know, raw race car feeling that they want you to have. And I like that about this car, and that's what makes this thing feel like such a roller coaster. It feels like it shifts so hard, and it just makes you feel like you're going so much faster. It's really engaging. Even though you might consider it being underpowered at 430 horsepower, this thing feels like an absolute menace on the road. This car does only have 430 horsepower and 361 pound-feet of torque. We've got the hood open here. As you can see, this goes into just that cool factor. Again, like I was talking about, you could buy other cars like the Z06, the Maserati, the Hellcat. Those aren't hand-built motors, not by any means. The new C8 is, but over here, you got hand-built from England by Derek Mobbs. Whoever he is, if you're watching our video, thank you for this beautiful motor here.
I just wanted to say thanks,
partner.
But it is hand-built. We got a 4.7 liter V8 from Aston Martin. And I think this is a cool feature because they still had to throw their badge on top of the motor. Super cool, love this thing, an absolute tank. This thing is really reliable. The only thing that isn't is probably the transmission. But this thing will tick, 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 tick until you probably croak. So, we're gonna show you guys a few examples of why this thing is an absolute menace on the road. Now, I say this because I'm gonna give you the first two examples, being that it almost would surprise you that it did this well against this thing. The R8. The Jaguar F-Type. Giving it that launch from the very beginning really will scare you if you have one of the two cars. You'd be like, holy crap, that thing's beating me right now. Again, it's gonna pull on through. Now, we have raced other cars like the Maserati. The Ghibli.
Okay, let's go.
And this thing walks away from them at the same horsepower, same motor walks away from Maserati Granturismo. That's what's truly impressive. So now we're gonna talk about the sound of this thing. This thing sounds like an absolute animal. And I say it sounds like an animal because this thing is so hard to be behind when this thing is revving, because it doesn't have a rev limiter. This thing will rev up all the way to the point it's just banging off the top. And it revs to almost like 9,000 RPMs basically. So when you see it, it's literally going past the 8,000. So, and just so you guys know, the only reason this thing is so unearthly loud is because we took the cats off this. Take a look to what this thing sounds like next to its counterparts, like Maseratis. Jaguar F-Type. Audi R8. Nissan GTRs. My final note, that was our 5 things that we love about our Aston Martin Vantage S. And again, we can't complain. We're just gonna run over real quick. What can you say for a $55,000 car used? It's an absolute beast.